Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another Chubb's Reviews, where I bring you a review every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And today we're talking about Saints Row 4 Re-elected. I've never played a Saints Row game. This is my first time experiencing one, and I technically, full disclosure, didn't really play it. I was on a watch along with my friend, like from the beginning to the end. It's kind of like he just giving me a break. Obviously, he was playing it, and enjoying it himself, and I took his opinion into consideration, and I experienced everything with him. But it's kind of like someone who worked for me, even though he doesn't get paid, and I don't like to, he's my friend, so it doesn't really work for me. But imagine someone played the game at my company and has relayed information to me, or I've been there with them, and I'm giving the experiences, the opinions of our experience of Saints Row 4 Re-elected. I'm sure I've done these type of reviews before. No one seems to have a problem with it. It's just a special, different type of review. So just take my opinion with a grain of salt. And speaking of that, I mean, I didn't outright love this game. As my first Saints Row game, it was quite an interesting, unique experience. You start off as you get to make your character, which is with a really deep character customization. It's actually pretty cool. And then you go into the game as the fucking president of the United States. And then also like this badass like alien third person mission in the beginning of the game. It was just really interesting, I guess, and it was all over the place. And I've heard Saints Row was all over the place. And then all of a sudden, you go from the president for like the first like hour of the game, which has some really um, funny or unique moments, like the sitcom throwback where you're kind of just walking around dancing. Uh, and then all of a sudden, an alien invasion happens by this alien called Zinyak, which I think starts off as a very generic kind of villain, but then actually the acting, like the voice acting in general for Zinyak, was pretty funny or interesting, and he's just more like he's very knowledgeable and he's just got some witty lines. Actually, I would say that the writing in this is actually very witty, even though it's kind of silly at the same time. Because this game is not meant to be taken seriously one bit, and I think that's cool and also one of its flaws. I mean, if you're going into it looking for like a funny sandbox game, that's what you're going to get here, and superhero sandbox at that, because Zinniac thinks you are the most powerful human in the world, right? As the president and the leader of the Saints. And instead of just killing you, instead he puts you in a simulation, which is basically like the world that you already live in, but it's a simulation. And then your friends, like Kinsey, your homies, can hack into the network and blah blah blah. You can get superpowers, and you get these superpowers extremely early, and basically it becomes the best Flash game you could ever play. And like, just you're a superhero. You have all types of superhero powers. I mean, you don't have like laser vision or anything like that, but you got speed. That's the most used one. That super jumping and like crashing down to the ground. You can basically one shot people by running up to them and doing an animation kill. Um, and it kind of makes your character broken, and that's the fun of the game. So if you want to like really enjoy the experience without it feeling broken or too easy, you'll want to roleplay and restrain yourself from using too many superhero powers early. But then there's also extremely fun guns to get, like a black hole gun which shoots black holes, a dubstep gun which kills people with the power of dubstep, and just there's tons of, like I said, there's a lot of progression when it comes to superpowers and upgrading your guns, and a lot of customization when it comes to outfits and weapons. It's very fun and unique, but kind of forgettable, and that's how I'd explain this game overall. Very fun, unique, and kind of forgettable. I mean, there's some parts I'll never forget, like the funny sitcom part in the beginning, and a few of the story elements are cool. Like since they're in a simulation, uh, your main character has to go save a few of his homies, um, that are trapped in their own like simulation mind world, and it's like it's basically like the Matrix, and you got to go save them from their like nightmares. And all I know is one of them had an extremely funny nightmare with this huge monster battle, and it was like a giant can named Paul, and it was like funny that he was scared of his advertisements. Another one was a really funny like Metal Gear reference in which you went in to go kill your alternate evil self because that's what she dreamed of. And there's also just all types of throwbacks and references in this game when it comes to like hiding in a box from Metal Gear, or an actual Streets of Rage like side-scrolling beat 'em up gameplay elements, like a whole mission. Um, and there's even shoutouts to like the old Saints Row 2 and 3 bosses and maps. I didn't even know about that. Like I said, I've never played these games, but my friend who's played the game and is knowledgeable of other Saints Rows let me in on like they reused some bosses and cities and content, but I don't know if it's like a homage to the previous games or kind of just really easy reused assets. It's kind of balancing in between there. So like I said, there's some funny, memorable moments, and the progression is pretty fun. But at the same time, in this day and age, playing Saints Row 4 Reelected today would be a drag, I think, at most times. It'd be funny, like how it is, but the open worldness, people are tired of open world games. I kind of am. You would have to grind a lot to really complete out your build and just become overall powerful. I mean, you're kind of overall powerful in the beginning anyway. You don't have to grind, but it definitely has a grindy element to it. But you can just go into the settings and turn on cheats right from the get-go. Obviously, you don't get trophies, but you can just enjoy the game kind of much better without the grindy open worldness of it. Um, I would still do your like side missions, like your loyalty side missions, because those are really entertaining and funny. And then your main missions were interesting, but that would only clock you out about 15 hours, I think anyway, if my math was correct. And yeah, it was just a fun, silly, kind of forgettable experience. I don't know how much I enjoy Saints Row as a franchise. Like I said, I've never played too many of them. I would prefer to go play like something a little bit more serious, like a GTA or a Sleeping Dogs. But this is kind of a sandbox game. At this point, you're just in an open world with superpowers, and it is funny. It doesn't take itself seriously, and the jokes are actually witty, good writing. The voice acting is top notch. The main male voice is Troy Baker, which we all know probably who Troy Baker is, and Keith Davis plays Keith Davis in this, which is pretty funny if you know who that is. And yeah, just overall a pretty satisfying game, but left a lot to be desired. I mean, I don't know how I just said those two sentences, but just it kind of loses its identity in a sense. Is this really even a Saints Row game? It's just kind of all over the place and weird. And but if you take it for what it is and you enjoy Saints Row, I'm sure you've already played it. If you get your hands on this game, just make sure it's not serious. You're not serious about it. Like it's very goofy. And I would turn on cheats and honestly just enjoy the main experience. Fuck the grindiness of the side stories and collecting shit to upgrade shit. I'm just so over the open world collecting shit to upgrade shit type game. And yeah. Anyway, my final verdict for this game is gonna be a solid 6 out of 10. Like, don't get me wrong, the game is above average. It's good. I can't compare it to previous Saints Rows. I've heard Saints Row 3 was a huge disappointment, so I'm guessing this is a step up from that. But it still is just an above average game to me, and I probably won't remember it next month. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you guys think of Saints Row down below. Like, comment, subscribe. Peace out.